On the underfloor, looking from above, the underfloor has a cutout out of it like this, and that's where the rear tire sits there, yeah, like that. And here on the Red Bull, there's a little hole, a slot, to allow airflow to come in through this slot and take the airflow that's being spilled off the tire inside the tire here to try and make the diffuser work better. Now, on their car, it's a hole like this. On the Sauber, they've got the same thing, but it's actually slotted like that. So in other words, the periphery of the floor is that there. Yeah, sorry. The periphery of the floor is like that. On the Red Bull, it's a hole. So really and truthfully, the underfloor of the car should be what they call an impervious surface. In other words, you shouldn't allow any water to go through it. That hole allows water to go through it. Because it's a slot on the Sauber and on the Ferrari, it's not classified as a hole. The external surface of it defines it not to be a hole. So it's been on the car for 5 races, I think. They put it on in the second in Malaysia. So it's been on there for a while. It's very visual. I don't understand why it's got to here, but a little bit of confusion.
Adrian Newey said that he had a clear document from the technical working group and Charlie Whiting that they had already brought it to their attention and some time ago, not here, but and it was proved to be legal.
Yeah, I mean, at any point in time, I read the regulations very carefully this morning, and we actually protested Benetton many years ago in IATA because they had the same sort of thing. They had the front barge board, and they had a bracket at the front and a bracket at the back of it onto the main floor section of the car. And to me, that there constituted a hole. In other words, not an impervious surface. The regulation said that you must be able to go around the periphery of the floor, and there must be no holes in it. It must be impervious. And we actually protested because we finished 4th in the race. I think Michael won it. And obviously we're looking for all the points we could get.
Never.
As you do.
No, never. Did I put you up to that?
The FIA come back at that time and said, well, the surface that's left is impervious. So that means you can have the whole floor with a whole lot of holes in it because the bit that's left is actually impervious. So it's like a sieve is impervious. I don't believe a sieve is impervious, but you read the regulations in different ways, and that's what the discussion will be about now. It's reading the regulations differently. I can't read the regulations that says that's legal, but it's not down to me to read the regulation.
So in your mind, as an ex-designer, if you were still in Formula One as a racer now, would you protest this?
Well, I wouldn't protest it because I think that's a sad way to do things. I think I'd bring it to somebody's attention, but I also wouldn't design something with that hole in there because I don't think it meets the way the regulations are written at this point in time. Now, I'm sure Red Bull got clarification on it, but did that clarification go to all the other teams? Because that's the thing you have to do. The regulations are the document that everybody builds a car to, so you've got to make sure that you build the car to those regs. If there's a clarification to that, it needs to go in the rule book.
Right. And I'm sure that people at home are thinking, so what, there's a hole in the bottom of one of the cars. Is it worth a protest? Is it just pernickety? Is this playground rules? Because how much of a difference could that really make to a car in a Grand Prix when you look at the way a Grand Prix unfolds with so many variables?
Yeah, there is so many variables, but the car, for example, they're looking at, the car was on pole. This thing here, if it really does a very, very good job, you might be talking of a tenth of a second. And a tenth of a second round here in Monaco, I mean, you saw how close it was. It makes a big difference. So I believe protests are wrong. I think it should be brought to the attention of somebody, and it should be a clarification for the next race. If the FIA look at the cars before the race starts and don't pick it up, then it should be allowed to be here for the weekend.